Welcome back to my channel. I'm Adrienne, and today is day 9 of me posting every day on YouTube to kick off my content creator adventure. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you want to follow along. Yesterday, I did a week 1 recap of how it felt to post every day. It was more the mental and the emotional. And today, I just want to break down the numbers. Even though I'm not concerned with analytics for these first 30 days, um, I just want to show you what the data has to say about starting before you're ready. So before I get into the actual numbers, I do want to note that I guess when you do your first video, the algorithm does like this huge launch push. Um, and if you're looking at the data for subsequent videos, it can kind of feel like you're failing because it's such a big difference. So I do recommend kind of not paying attention to the data for that first day. Like my first video, I think has like over 280 views, whereas the rest of them range pretty much, I think, in between like 10 to 40 or 50. So the subsequent videos is where you're going to start to build your baseline. I just really wouldn't even consider that first day because, one, you don't want to get discouraged, but it's not really, I feel like it's not real. You know what I mean? Anywho, I did use AI, specifically Claude, to analyze the data from my first week of posting. And I asked it to analyze it from the perspective of, proving that this was not a terrible idea and that not having a strategy is not the end of the world. So I'm trying to get better about talking into the camera, but I have a bit more notes than I usually do. So here we go. Let's dive in. Now, what the data showed was that I had 6,800 impressions, meaning that YouTube pushed my content out to 6,800 people. That resulted in 515 views, which resulted in 57 subscribers. Now, you may look at those numbers and think that that's terrible. Like out of 6,800 people, at the end of the day, only 57 people subscribed. But what Claude told me is that this is actually how YouTube works for every channel, even established, like big popular ones. And starting without a strategy did not hurt my conversion. Like, this is just how it works. So that was good to know that that really didn't make a difference either way, like having a strategy or not didn't matter. And some people, again, like I said, might say only 57 subscribers. I am like, 57 people chose to subscribe to my channel because they thought what I was talking about was interesting. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for every single person that's here. And there's a handful of people that I know, but I really didn't tell that many people. So most of these are strangers, and that feels really, really good. And these 57 people subscribed without me having a strategy, no, subscription prompt strategy other than asking you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. No giveaways, like just they're people who were genuinely interested. And now, after the fact, I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't really tell a whole lot of people at the beginning. I haven't mentioned it on my other social media accounts. Um, and I kind of like that the numbers are not skewed, I guess you could say, by just a bunch of people that I already know or that are already in my universe, like coming here for this first week. So that was like really helpful and really encouraging to me. Click-through rate is like when your thumbnail pops up on somebody's screen, is the percentage of people who clicked when they saw it. Mine was 5.5%. And the industry average is 2 to 10%, and new channels typically start at the lower end, and I'm right there in the middle, so that feels good too. I did not use any thumbnail strategy. I'm letting YouTube auto select my thumbnails, no SEO or keyword research, and that tells me that the titles alone were compelling enough to make people want to click. For impressions, back to the 6,800 people who YouTube sent my content out to, that was with zero promotion at all whatsoever. The algorithm extended the reach because people were simply engaging with my content. The most interesting piece of data that I think it is who has been watching the audience. The audience insights say that I have been reaching 100% women between the ages of 35 to 54. Now, in my head, I know that's who I'm talking to, but I did no intentional targeting to make this happen. Like, I just showed up, talked about my life, and the algorithm found exactly who I was hoping to reach without intentionally strategizing it. And that just tells me that authenticity, being myself alone, is the targeting strategy. And retention rate is like the percentage of the time that people are remaining in your videos watching. So how long people are watching. My retention rate across the week started at 25% with my first video, and by day 7, had increased to 52%. This is so interesting because, as I mentioned, that very first video that the algorithm did that big launch push with had, again, like over 280 views, but had the lowest retention rate of 25%. People didn't stay as long. And now the 52%, I believe, was on, again, as I mentioned yesterday, one of the videos I personally like the least. And what that shows is that the more comfortable that I'm getting on camera, the longer people are staying. So I think it just, again, speaks back to the authenticity. Um, and yeah, really, actually, those two videos I mentioned yesterday that I liked the least, I believe are performing the best, data-wise. And so that's really helping me be like less critical with myself or feeling like I need to re-record something. And really just like not stressing about how it is. So if anybody is thinking about starting their own channel, several of you expressed that you've wanted to start a channel, and you just haven't started yet for the same reasons that were holding me back. I was worried about being judged. I was worried about what other people would think. I was overthinking, over planning, feeling like I had to have this whole plan and strategy together, and that I needed to know everything, know how everything works. And I just want to do like a little myth busting, okay? Because what this data proves is that you don't need a strategy before you start. You found this channel with zero strategy on my end. If the algorithm can find you, the algorithm can find your people as well. Um, Back to the thumbnails, they don't need to be perfect. I would love to have a cute little graphic on my thumbnails, and I will eventually, but it's just really not that important. I still had a click-through rate, um, pretty much based on my thumbnails of 5.5%, which is higher than the average of new channels. And I've just been letting YouTube auto select my thumbnails, which sometimes they're not the best. There's definitely better frames I know that they could auto select from, but I don't care. We just keep moving, right? Um, you might think that nobody will find you without SEO. I got 515 views, international reach, and did zero keyword research. So that's a myth too. Maybe I would have reached, I'm sure I probably would have reached more view or got more views or reached more people if I did do it, but that's not what I'm doing right now. So I'm happy with that. And you do oh, excuse me, no, I'm losing lost in my thoughts. But you might feel like you need a niche first. You do not need a niche first. 100% of who I was targeting in my head was found organically before I even figured out exactly what I was talking about. It was found just based on what I was just yapping about. I've been coming on here just talking about what feels good to talk about that day. Um, and you don't have to be ready. Every single metric went up as the week went on, and I'm telling you, you're gonna get ready as you're doing it, as you're in it. I've been getting more comfortable every single day that I've been doing it. So this data doesn't show like a perfect week one, but what it does show is what happens when you just start before you're ready, and great things are happening. I'm really surprised at this data. Before I close this out, I did just want to run through the process that I'm using right now. It's just very low lift to make sure I get these 30 days of posting done, and hopefully it's helpful to anyone else who's wanting to start a channel. For the prepping and filming, I'm not using any scripts. I do have more notes than usual today because I was dealing with the data and just a bit longer video than I normally do. But I don't want to read a script, but I've basically been kind of making some bullet point notes just to kind of prompt me to what I want to talk about, and that seems to have been to be helpful. I don't have an elaborate filming setup. I'm filming on my laptop in Zoom using clips. You do have to have a pro subscription to do longer videos on clips. And the only reason I use clips versus the regular recording in a regular Zoom room is because it has 1080 um, HB. But honestly, if you don't have a pro membership, pro Zoom subscription, excuse me, you can open a Zoom room with a free subscription and just record in there. It's not a big deal. And you can also record on your phone as well. I don't have an aesthetically pleasing background. This is my real office. This is what it looks like, and this is where I spend a lot of my time. So that's just that. Eventually, again, yeah, I would love to, but I didn't want it to stop me. And really, nobody really cares, to be honest. When it comes to uploading, I've not been editing any videos because I don't know how to edit videos, and I do not have the bandwidth right now to like dive into that. Something else I'll do eventually. And as I mentioned before, I've just been letting YouTube pick my thumbnails for now. For titles and descriptions, I have actually, I want to make sure I mention this for transparency. I have been using AI to help me brainstorm titles and giving me ideas for descriptions. The descriptions, I usually just kind of take what I like and leave the rest and just edit it to my liking and to sound more like me. And the titles, sometimes I use the suggestion that Claude gives me, and sometimes I've been writing my own. And Claude will usually give me, I want to say about 5 to 7 different options, and will indicate like if you don't have a good hook or a good thumbnail, like this is more clickable, or this like might resonate more emotionally with whatever, or this, it gives me the reason for the title. So then, like I said, sometimes I choose one or create my own, just depending on what feels good to me. And the point with that, like keyword strategy and keyword research and SEO strategy can be time consuming. I don't have that time right now, and again, it's just not what I'm focused on. Using AI to help me with this has taken out the guesswork, and it takes me 5 minutes, if that, instead of 5 hours trying to figure it out. So think about the different tools that you have that can help you move forward without having to have a full-on strategy. And it's just a reminder you don't have to have it all figured out. Um, what else? Oh, post upload. I just have a little admin task. I respond to every comment. I try to respond to them as they come in, but sometimes you just can't. So I've just scheduled 2 times during the day that I just kind of sit down and look at comments and make sure I respond to them. The algorithm does also like that. And I believe your replies to comments count in your analytics. And I believe also, again, um, indicate engagement to the algorithm, which makes it want to push it out more. I do a quick voice note just to document this process about how I felt, anything that I think is worth mentioning, um, how I came up with my topic, whatever. And I do that because I feel like that can be content for later, but I also um, want to know want to know how this went down, later. So, just I also just want to remind you that just because you record something doesn't mean that you have to post it. So if you're feeling held back from doing it, just start recording. You don't have to post it anywhere. Keep it. But if that helps you get more comfortable doing this, then 100% just start recording yourself talking about the things that you love. And I guarantee that will help. Like, I often have to remind myself that I can just turn the camera on and talk, and I can delete it if I want, or I can just keep it in my camera roll or whatever. Just because you've recorded does not mean you have to actually do anything with it. And if that's a baby step you need to take to get more comfortable, by all means, do it. Don't let anyone pressure you or make you feel like you have to be selling something. I know a lot of online entrepreneurs, and I've had people ask me, like, oh, okay, so what are you selling? And the first time somebody asked me that, it completely deflated me from like a creative standpoint. I just wanted to have a creative expression outlet, and it made me feel like that was a dumb idea because I wasn't selling something. Um, and you don't need to be selling anything. You have the right to document your life. And you can just do that if that's what you want to do. Um, really just be yourself. I have 100% just been myself on here. It feels good. I'm having a lot of fun. And honestly, performative content is exhausting, and it's exhausting to make, I feel like, and it's exhausting to watch also. You can 100% tell when somebody is performing, I feel like. Um, and I'm honestly so glad that I went into this without having expectations regarding analytics, because I honestly think I would stress myself out and probably get discouraged and quit. So, again, like, baby steps. I am a baby steps person. Focusing on just being consistent and getting comfortable and finding my voice for these first 30 days, that's what I can handle right now. And so that's what I'm focusing on. And then after that, we'll start adding in new things slowly, step by step. So do whatever you have to do to make yourself comfortable getting uncomfortable. Um, I was originally inspired to do this daily posting by a creator that I follow named Atanmo. I will put that in the description for you. She is currently on what started as a 100-day posting challenge to now a 1,000-day posting challenge. And she really just stripped away all of these. Um, myths that I had around starting a YouTube channel and feeling like I needed to know all the things and have this big strategy and all of these things. And it was so helpful in helping me to allow myself to do this. So I would recommend checking out her content as well. And I actually did purchase a course of hers about YouTube, but honestly, like she provides so much value in her daily videos. They're not all about, YouTube creation or content creation, but she does share very openly about, her findings and her experience going through this 1,000-day posting challenge there. So definitely check her out if you're also wanting to start her channel. So there's 20 more days left of the challenge, or 21 more days left of the challenge. I plan to continue to move intuitively, but in the background, I plan to start doing some research and seeing what my next steps are. But I'm so excited for day 30, um, to see how I feel, to see what the numbers say, to see what we are building. And I'd really like to know, like, what do you all want to see more of? Let me know in the comments. And that's it for today. So thank you again for being here for this adventure and for being part of, yeah, I don't know, just being a part of this. The data confirmed what the comments have already told me, that people are here, people are interested, and I am reaching who I'd hoped to reach. And I just want you to now go start your thing, even if it's not a YouTube channel. Just start it messy, start it before you're ready. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you tomorrow.